Okay, first ever YouTube video thing recorded. Here we go, testing. This isn't like the best situation for recording, but it's what I have, so this is what we're doing.
Good job, Dana. You forgot to hook up your microphone the first time. So here's the real test. Okay.
Okay, here we are again. We're doing this again for like the fourth time. You guys, I'm not professional. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello, friends. So, after four different tests, I finally think I got this whole like audio nonsense taken care of. I apologize that the lighting in here is not as good as I would like. I do have a little tiny diva light, but it's a cloudy day, y'all. It's a real cloudy day, and we just don't have any sunshine right now. But that's okay, because I like a cloudy fall day. It's kind of my aesthetic. Anyway, welcome to my first ever YouTube video accompaniment to my newsletter thing. That needs a snappier title, but I don't really know quite what to call it yet. So anyway, for those of you who are joining me randomly out of the ethos, basically what's happening here is that this video is a little accompaniment, as I said, to my newsletter. You can find my newsletter if you want to sign up for that at www.wordsbydana.com. Oh, and I should probably introduce myself. So, hi, I'm Dana Frederick, and I am a steampunk fantasy author, generally writing in like the YA arena, kind of new adult arena as well. Genres are squiffy. Age genres doubly so. So anyway, welcome. And as I said, this is my first video that's going to accompany my bi-monthly newsletter. And of course, because bi-monthly or bi-weekly or bi-anything is one of those words that can mean either or, let me explain. Bi-monthly, I mean that it comes out every other month. Just some updates about my life as an author, living the author life. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. So I have broken down today's itinerary into categories. Let's jump right in. First section, we have what I've been reading lately. So I've been reading a couple of different types of books recently, which has been really interesting. A couple of years ago, I found out the the real benefit to breaking out of your regular genre. As you can see, steampunk and fantasy is my usual genre. Ta-da! Okay, so that was hidden behind me before. I'm rearranging my bookshelves, so it's kind of a work in progress. Anyway, as you can see, steampunk, fantasy, young adult, that's my wheelhouse. But a couple of years ago, I read a book by an author friend of mine. Author friend is named Beverly Lee, and the book was called The Making of Gabriel Davenport, and it is horror. And I do not read horror at all. I do not like it. But this book was so amazing, and it really like pulled me out of my comfort zone and got me to read in a genre that I generally don't like. So I always recommend trying to break out of your normal genre once in a while to shake things up. So here's what I've been reading lately. So first we have Akata Witch by, I tried to look up how to pronounce this, so here goes nothing. Nnedi Okorafor. Okorafor? Nnedi Okorafor. Yes. So Akata Witch, which was described to me as Harry Potter in Africa, which is not a terrible description. The book is about Sunny, whose parents are Nigerian, but she grew up most of her life in America, but now they've just moved back to Nigeria. And that causes some issues with adjustment and, her kind of finding her place in this new country, this new life, all that kind of stuff. Oh, also, she has magic powers, which is really cool. There's a lot of There's a lot of African spiritualism in this book that, frankly, I know next to nothing about. So that was really interesting to kind of see that and kind of get to know a culture through that lens, which, again, I still don't really know much. Like, this is probably just, the tip of the iceberg, but it was really, really cool. A lot of adventure, a lot of learning, a lot of things that, like, I've never seen because I've never been to Nigeria. I don't really know much about that country, so it was really, really cool. Up next is Ghost by Jason Reynolds. I really love Jason Reynolds. I've seen him speak on multiple occasions at multiple venues, and he's just so cool. He's really nice and just like seems like a really great person. But honestly, I'd never actually read any of his books until this. So this, along with Akata Witch, are middle grade books, which I like middle grade a lot, but I don't read nearly as much as YA. And also, Ghost is contemporary. Like, it's not at all fantasy in the least, which I pretty much never read. And so that was really interesting to not read a book with any kind of magic, and also to read a contemporary book. It is set in a neighborhood that is nothing like what I've grown up in, so I always think it's important to try and learn about different backgrounds and like ways that different people live. Again, I think breaking out of your comfort zone and the things you know are really important because it can make you think about things that you've never thought about before, or at least in a way that you've never thought about them. But yeah, so it was a really great book and I highly recommend it. Next up, I read the Dread Nation duology. So here's Dread Nation, and then the sequel to it is Deathless Divide. Both of these books are so good. I love them so much. So basically, the deal with these books is it's about 14 years after the Civil War, and at Gettysburg, the dead rose up, because that's fun. So we're going with a, like, post-Civil War era zombie apocalypse, and it's really great. Our main character, Jane, she is at a school for Black girls learning the defensive arts to fight zombies. In this world, African Americans and Native Americans are forced to go to these combat schools and learn to defend all the nice white people against the zombie apocalypse, which sucks. So yeah, and it's really exciting. Also, I want to say it's written in first person present tense, which is a point of view that I generally have a lot of issues with. I think first person present tense can be really hard to read. I know it's really hard to write. And it's done so well in these books. Like, I don't even notice that it's in present tense. It just flows beautifully. The book is excellently written. It's a little bit steampunk, which I love. And the protagonists are really, really relatable. I really love them. In the second one, we have two different perspectives between Jane and then also this girl, Catherine, who is also at the combat school that she was at. So it's really exciting. Lots of hijinks. It does face some really hard subjects like racism, like segregation, all kinds of stuff. San Francisco is completely reimagined in the second book, and that's really interesting, with a kind of Chinese and American melding of architecture. It's really beautiful, and that was one of my favorite parts, was just kind of seeing like what could have been in this alternate history. So yeah, highly recommend that. Really loved those books. Yeah. And then last but not least is Getting Things Done by David Allen, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. Gosh, the glare is like super bad on that. Anyway, so Getting Things Done. This is a book that I have heard a lot of different people that I respect talk about. Some podcasters that I really respect, like CGP Grey, also Kevin from Productivity Alchemy, Kevin Sunny, and some other places that, like I said, it's just a lot of different people have talked about this book and how it really affected them and helped them to kind of get their life together. I learned about kind of putting things in buckets and like writing stuff down was a big one, which I was already doing. But I'd never really like heard sort of like the mental philosophy behind getting things done explained. And that was really interesting. So basically, two of the things that are mentioned in the book is the 2-minute rule, which basically, if it's going to take less than 2 minutes, just get it done and then it'll be done. And that was really cool. Like, and so the biggest thing I've applied that to is honestly my email, all of those emails you get when it's like delete, 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 delete. I just do that now. And gosh, it's so much better because then I don't have all those like junky emails staring me in the face all the time. So yeah, it's kind of nice. And then the other thing, this part's a little harder to explain, but basically in the book, David Allen talks about mental weight, or like the kind of just like the space that things take up in your mind when they're like open objects that you haven't done anything with, which is one of the reasons why he makes such a big deal about writing stuff down. Because when you write it down and it's like living elsewhere in a to-do list or something, then it's not there in your brain space and your brain is going, hey, don't forget about this thing. Hey, don't forget about this thing, because it's been put elsewhere. He explains it way better in the book than I do. But anyway, so the mental space also kind of extends to like stuff, I guess. And for me, one of those stuff things was my 56 tabs open on my browser. Yeah. And my thought process with those tabs, and I talked about this in a blog entry where I talked about the book. Again, you can find that on my website. Basically, my idea was I'll leave these tabs open and they'll remind me to get things done. But they didn't. Like, they were just sitting there being open. Like, there was no actual reminder. Because I had so many open at that point that, like, you couldn't see what was what. Like, you had no idea. So, that was not a very effective method. So getting things done. Yeah. It was good. It's a very dense book, I will say. It's very businessy. It has a little bit of, like, a businessy tone. So I probably need to go through it a few more times to really get it, but it's really good. I like it a lot and I highly recommend it. So that is everything for what I have been reading. Now we go into what I've been watching. So, I don't watch a ton of TV. I do actually. That's a lie. I do, but I don't watch a lot of different TV. I kind of tend to fixate on one thing until I finish it. And then I'll move on to the next thing. I'm a little bit of a completionist, y'all. I don't like to jump around too much. It just gets on my nerves and I lose track of stuff. So this is the same way I function in life. I'm not one of those people that can do like a little bit of writing here and a little bit of writing there. I generally have to be focused. So like I'll do an hour of writing and I'll schedule that in. And then I will like do all of my catch-ups in Instagram at once. Like I batch everything. Television is the same way. So first of all, Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is like my jam from when I was like 14 years old and I still love it. The Hubs and I recently signed up for Hulu and I've been kind of binging my way through some of the stuff on there. And one of them is a new dub version, well, new to me anyway, of Sailor Moon. There was a dub version when I was like 14 and it was really bad, and they like massively edited it for like, I guess, so we don't offend people or something. But anyway, this new dub is really great. They have the original Japanese names. They don't cut stuff to make it like cleaner or whatever. And it's so good. I'm loving it. I mean, it is long. I think the first season is something like 49 episodes, which is crazy and way too long. In case you're wondering, yes, I have seen Sailor Moon Crystal. It does move a lot faster for those of you who are interested, and it's the same story, just retold, basically. Highly recommend that. I love it. Oh, right, Sailor Moon. I think it's all the episodes. Thing is, I know how the series ends. I've just never actually seen the whole series. So I'm working my way through, and when I get to the end of the episodes, I'll know whether or not that was the final episode. Because like I said, I know how it ends. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that. Just reliving some pieces of my childhood. It's funny what you remember, because there are episodes that I'm watching that I remember watching when I was 14 and remember really, really loving and like realizing, oh, now we're getting to like the meat of the story. Now we're getting to like the really exciting stuff. And it's really fun to kind of relive that a little bit. After that, another anime, actually. I'm not a huge anime person. I wouldn't really say I'm an anime fan, but there are a few select ones that I really enjoy. So another one, which is actually an American-made anime. I think that's a thing, right? Anyway, it's done by Rooster Teeth. It's called Ruby, RWBY. And Ruby is just amazing. So the four main characters are based on fairy tales. Ruby is based on Little Red Riding Hood. Weiss is based on Snow White. Yang is based on Goldilocks. And oh my gosh, why am I forgetting her name suddenly? Blake. Oh, Blake Belladonna. She's based on Beauty and the Beast. It is such a good series. It is a web series. Rooster Teeth, they're kind of an indie production company, and they do a whole bunch of different stuff. They initially did Red versus Blue, if you're familiar with that, which is hilarious and irreverent and amazing, and I think it's awesome and I love it. That was like their first big breakout hit. But Ruby is just incredible, and these girls, and they are friends, and they go to this combat school because they want to be huntsmen and protect the world from these creatures called Grimm, which are basically physical manifestations of evil and destruction. It's such a good show, and I just love all the characters so much. They have all these adventures, and it's funny, and it's sad, and it gives me all the feels. All the feels. I love it so much. It makes me so happy, and it hurts me, and it's the best. So anyway, Ruby, highly recommend. Also, it is available online. Like, you can just watch it on YouTube. They have like the full series on there and all the episodes. It's so good. You can also watch it on Rooster Teeth's website. I think it's just like roosterteeth.com or something. You can just Google it. It's there. I'll also put a link in the description below. But I love it. It's just so amazing. I think at this point they're through season 7. I think they're working on season 8 now. And yeah, so it's probably because it's a web series, each season is only like, I don't know, 2, maybe 2.5, 3 hours. So you can actually binge it pretty fast. And like I said, it's just so good. I love it so much. And it's also funny because you can see the animation get progressively better as the series goes. So like if you open it up and you start and you're like, wow, the animation on this, it's not great. I know it's not great. It gets better. So stick with it. You'll be happy you did. Next up, Invader Zim, which another like classic from when I was a teenager. I love Invader Zim. It is so stupid and funny and dumb, and I just love it. So basically, this really self-deluded little alien comes to Earth to try and take it over and fails miserably again and again. And it's also kind of interesting because it's one of those shows where like it's not really a continuation. It's just episodic where or wait, is that the right word? Episodic? Basically, like the episodes can kind of exist on their own. Like the stuff that happens in one doesn't affect the one that happens in the next episode. So you can just kind of jump in. You can watch random episodes. It's whatever. Like once in a while, they'll have an episode that's like plot progression. But mostly it's just, whatever. And I really love it. And it's just dumb. Like I said, right now, I'm just watching a lot of like stuff that makes me happy, stuff that makes me laugh, stuff that makes me feel good. I can't be doing dark right now, y'all. So anyway, highly recommend Invader Zim. I also personally really like the artistic style. It just appeals to me. So yeah, Invader Zim, yay. Next up, I have been watching some random episodes of the show Psych. This one's actually a lot more recent. I think it was on, 10 years ago? Something like that? Maybe less, actually. Maybe it was like 5. Psych is basically like a murder mystery show, but it's funny and it's silly, and basically Sean Spencer pretends to be a psychic, and he like takes the pretend psychicking up to 11, and it's hilarious and I love it. And there's a pineapple in every episode, so you can have fun looking for the pineapple. I just recommend it. So we've just been watching like random episodes. We're not watching it in order. My husband and I mean, it's just fun. It's just great fun. And finally, I recently watched the new Bill and Ted movie. I'm not a huge fan of this new model that a lot of companies are trying, where you rent a movie from the comfort of your home, but you're still paying like movie theater prices to rent it. Not a fan, y'all. Like, when I pay $20 for a ticket, I'm paying for like that big screen experience. Like, I'm paying to sit in a seat that reclines with the push of a button. I'm not getting that at home. I mean, I love that I don't have to leave my house, but I'm not sure that's worth $20. Which is like the same as an IMAX ticket, y'all. So I'm not a huge fan of that model, but for Bill and Ted, I made an exception. I've seen both the original Bill and Ted movies, and I do recommend seeing them before seeing this film, because there are a lot of Easter eggs that you won't really be able to appreciate if you haven't seen the original movies. They are stupid. They know they are stupid, and they just lean right into that. So it was dumb. It was so dumb. And seeing, like, how old is Keanu Reeves now? Like 50, 40? I don't know. Somebody tell me. Seeing him, like, with his kind of, you know, weather-beaten, what was that movie he was in? Jack Reacher was Tom Cruise. Who's the other one? What's the movie where he kills everybody? Oh my gosh, you guys. I cannot remember the names today. This is embarrassing. Dana, this is your first YouTube video. You're in front of the world and you can't remember the name of that movie. Okay, I have to look it up really quick because it's going to make me crazy if I don't. Hang on a second. Just give me a moment. I'm sorry. Let me just look this up. John Wick. Okay, so seeing him, you know, you saw him fresh-faced, really stupid in the original Bill and Ted movies, and now you see him, like, weather-beaten. He's a little bit hardened now. I mean, still looks super, super good for his age. Do not get me wrong. That is a handsome man. But, like, you can tell he's lived a life. He's killed some people. Like, so to see, like, fresh-faced, dumb Keanu Reeves and now, like, weather-beaten, dumb Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted is just kind of amazing. Alex Winter actually kind of looks sort of the same. Like, he looks a little older. Anyway, so Bill and Ted Face the Music, the new one. We went ahead and paid the ridiculous movie theater price to watch it in the comfort of our home. And it was incredible, you guys. Like, it is really stupid, and, like, it is everything that I wanted it to be. There are some things in the original movies that have not aged well, and I feel like they mostly addressed most of those things. So yeah, I'm 100% here for it. It knows how infinitely stupid it is. I highly recommend it. If you liked the original Bill and Ted's, go for Face the Music. It does everything that I wanted it to, so that makes me really happy. That's everything for what I have been watching lately. So let's move on to what I've been doing. No surprise, since we're all still stuck inside our homes and can't travel or anything. I have been doing a whole lot of crochet. Y'all, my crochet game is just on. Like, my crochet game is killing it. So, yeah, so here's some stuff that I've made recently. First of all, I have these cute little fishies that I made. So this one's made with a very chunky yarn, and this one's made with same exact pattern, just totally different yarns. This one's made with a much smaller yarn. They're probably going to be gifts for some of my nieces and nephews or something. But anyway, you can see they have pretty tails. They have pretty little fins, colors. So yeah, I've made those fun little fish. They're just cute, and I enjoy it. I like amigurumi a lot. It can be kind of fussy, but I like these guys. They're fun. I made t-shirt yarn. It is ugly. It knows it's ugly, and it's okay with it. So t-shirt yarn is literally what it sounds like. I cut up a whole bunch of my old t-shirts that I wasn't wearing anymore, and I made yarn out of them. So yay. Recycling. Ah. And basically, I like t-shirt yarn for projects that need to be a little more durable, projects that are gonna get kind of dirty. And so I give you, ta-da, my stash basket. So this is kind of a project basket. I'm just, I keep my little projects in here when I'm working on them. It lives on the floor, so it's got dog hair and stuff all over the bottom, and it can get a little bit dirty, but that's okay because that's what t-shirt yarn is for. So I'm loving this. I gave it handles for easy carrying around, and it's already paying off. I love it so much. I'm really enjoying my t-shirt yarn stash basket. And yeah, so that's a thing I've been doing. And finally, like in that same vein of like creativity, I've really been thinking about getting a silhouette machine. If you guys are not familiar with this, it's kind of like a Cricut cutter. Silhouette's basically just the competing brand. And it's one of these machines that like you can plug in a design and it'll like cut it out, whether it's stickers or what's that plastic stuff, like shrink ink plastic. Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. If you wanted to do like bookmarks with like that cardstock that's a little bit extra thick, you can do that. So yeah, it's a thing I've been thinking about getting for a very long time, probably over a year now. And I'm thinking about Silhouette instead of Cricut because Cricut has some rules about like designs you can use and upload and stuff that I don't really like. And most of the people that I know and I respect as crafters, they have Silhouette. So I'm kind of leaning in that direction instead. But it's kind of a chunky chunk of change investment. I think it's what, $400, something like that. That's a chunk of change. So I've really put it off. And I put it off because I wasn't really sure what I would use it for. Like, am I really going to get my money's worth out of it? But these projects keep coming up that, gosh, it would be nice. For instance, like the labels on my candles. It'd be really nice to not have to like trim those. Like I use like Avery labels right now, but printing it is kind of tricky. Like, I don't know why, but they never really print exactly straight the way they're supposed to on the labels, and then I end up having to like trim or whatever. It's just a whole thing. It would be nice to not have to do that. And so like the Silhouette will do that for me, which is really nice. Also stickers that, when I was doing live shows and traveling and stuff, I gave away stickers for signing up for my newsletter and just people who bought books and stuff. I love giving away stickers. It's just some nice little swag that you can do for people. And unfortunately, like when you try to unpeel a sticker and there's not like that other extra cut, it can be really hard. And I want to make life easy on people. So I've thought about it for that. I've thought about it for special books, bookmarks that like I would only give in special situations. I give away bookmarks like candy at shows and stuff. Just like my bog standard ones. But I was thinking about doing some nice special ones. Maybe some like die cut ones. I don't know. We'll see. It's a thing I've been considering. I'm still considering it. We'll see. But anyway, if you have any advice on the whole Silhouette situation, feel free to drop me some comments below because it's still a thing I'm struggling with and I'm just not sure. Anyway, so that's it for what I've been doing lately. And then as for our final section, my favorite things. So here in my favorite things, it's just stuff that's like really brought me some joy and happiness lately. Today's favorite things, I've got two for you. One is Tan France's masterclass on fashion and style, or maybe it's style and fashion. Anyway, so I really love Queer Eye on Netflix. If you guys haven't seen it, it's another very positive show that just brings me joy in my heart. And it's lovely. Tan France and all the other guys on there are just wonderful. They're just delightful and I love them. And it's just so positive and it makes me so happy. So Tan France is the guy on there who does clothing and fashion, and he has a masterclass now. A very dear friend of mine, DJ Gray, is her pen name. So you can check her out on Patreon or wherever. She does short stories and stuff. She's super cool and really wonderful. So anyway, she bought me a masterclass subscription for this year, which I have been loving. And also a thing about style and fashion, I had this thing happen to me like 10-ish years ago that kind of scarred me. It was pretty awful, pretty terrible, and it kind of gave me beef with like style and fashion in general for a long, long time. So I've kind of like been a little bit anti that sort of thing for a long time, but Tan France is so positive. He's so lovely and just kind about it that I was like, okay, if he's talking about this, I'll give it a go. And I basically binged the entire class in like 2 days. I think all in all, it's 4 or 6 hours or something like that. And he taught me a lot. And he made me feel a lot better about a lot of the things that I had baggage about from that experience 10 years ago. And he's fantastic. He talks about dressing, if you are, whether you're male, female, non-binary, all of that stuff. Talks about like the importance of tailors, talks about how you can get clothes inexpensively, talks about your capsule wardrobe, which is basically like your wardrobe base. So yeah, he talks about all these different things. It's really practical information, which I really appreciate because this girl is not high maintenance when it comes to getting dressed and making herself look nice. You guys, I know I've got all this going on. It's for you guys. Like, I do this for you because I want to look nice for you, because I want you to know I made an effort because I love you. So anyway, he talks about that. And he's just really lovely, and it's really practical, and I highly recommend it, which is weird coming from someone like me who has beef about this whole arena. So yeah, I really loved it, and it made me really happy. And I seriously like almost started crying at a couple of parts because like he addressed some of the things that I specifically had baggage about in a positive way that kind of just like healed some of those hurts that have lived there for so long. So yeah, it was really great. And then finally, for my favorite things, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know I recently signed up for a little subscription box called Knitcrate. And Knitcrate is like a yarn and crochet and knitting subscription box. It's really lovely. It's really affordable as well. Oh, my lighting just changed. I'm sorry about the lighting situation, you guys. It will be better next time. I will sort this out. I apologize. So anyway, Knitcrate. It's really lovely. It's really fantastic. Again, it's really affordable. I think it's like $25 a month, and you get 2 skeins of yarn plus a pattern. You get patterns for either crochet or knitting, so it doesn't matter which one you do. They also have a sock crate if you want to make socks. That's not my particular cup of tea. I was trying to make like a knitting or yarn pun, and I couldn't do it. So anyway, I'm a crocheter. And I have these really, really, really pretty yarns from them that I'm going to show you right now. So in my August crate, which was my first month, I got these gorgeous, 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 like little yarns. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's this like really pretty, like kind of icy blue aqua color. And it's very soft and squishy and has like a little bit of like halo around it. But yeah, they're really lovely. And this, the crochet pattern that came with it is this really nice shawl, which is definitely going to be a Christmas gift for a family member, but I'm not going to say who. So anyway, I've love this. And then my September crate, I got this, I actually like this one better. I got this gorgeous like orange yarn, and it's even softer, I think, than September's. I mean, September's is it's softer than August's. August's is very soft, but this one, ooh, it's so squishy. Oh, I love it so much. It's so soft. It has like baby alpaca in it, and I just like to pet it. So anyway, Knitcrate has been making me extremely happy. Look how happy this orange is. I love this orange. This is like one of my favorite colors. And you can choose like different, I guess like colorways. They have Energize Me, which is the one I like best. Lots of very energetic colors. They have Chill Out, which is like cooler colors and stuff. And then I forget what the name of the other one is, but that one is like earth tones and things like that. So I'm really enjoying Knitcrate. Ooh, I brought the patterns for you guys to look too. So, all right. So these are two of the books that came with each. Obviously, this goes with the orange and this goes with the aqua one. My books just happened to match the colors that I got. But you can see, like, that's the pretty shawl. This one is for the crochet pattern. It's a pair of fingerless gloves. They're just delightful. You can go onto Knitcrate's website as well, and you can buy these patterns. You can buy yarn from them as well. And as a member, if you want to buy more of the yarn that you got before, you get a discount, which is nice. So yeah, I'm loving it. It makes me happy. And it's like feeding my yarn addiction in, I think, a controllable way. So anyway, that's all of that. That's, I think, everything for this month. I'm recording this on September the 16th. So it's sort of weird. I know that my newsletter usually comes out like the end of the month, so I'll have about 2 weeks between recording this and sending the newsletter when more stuff will have happened. So I'll have to see if like I address that in the newsletter, if I save it for the next one. We'll see. Like I said, this is a work in progress. This is brand new. It's exciting. It's going to be an evolution. It's going to be good. All right, friends, that is about it for us. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, I really appreciate it. And all of the links can be found below for my social media if you want to follow me there. For my website, you can find out about my books if you are a fan of steampunk. If you just want to find some cool books. You can also join my newsletter and get more information on some of the stuff that I've talked about here, and then some more stuff that's happening just kind of in my life as an author. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to kind of see how I make these videos and the newsletter a conjunction. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. You can also find a link for my Patreon, and you can get even more goodies on there. All the information is on the site. So yeah, I think that's everything. If not, I'll put it in the show notes. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much. I hope you're all keeping well and safe right now. I know the world is really hard, and I just want you to know that you're not alone and that there are people who care about you. I am one of them, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and month and day and year, and take care, friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.